Hey, welcome back gamers to Robocraft, and this episode we're going to be talking about some of the changes in Robocraft and also going through some of my robots I've been using on the Wraulin account. So a little bit of both in this episode, but first I thought let's talk about the changes coming out on Monday the 4th of April in 2016. So this will be changing the game up again. They're going to be doing a couple of things. One thing will be raising the CPU and level cap for everybody in the game. And so the new highest CPU amount you can use for all robots will be 1750 once you attain the level 150 status. So that changes things up in a couple ways. You're going to be earning 10 CPU when you start all the way up until you get to level 100, which will get you to, I guess it'd be 5 under what we have, so 1500 CPU. And then when you get up to level 150, you'll be at 1750 total CPU. So basically everybody in the game now who's level 100 will be changed over to be level 103 in the new system. So that's kind of interesting. They're also going to be getting rid of Megabots, which I know a lot of people have read about on the forums and probably saw the notes and stuff on it. I was not a big art bot person, or I didn't do a lot of megas. But, you know, I understand why people are upset, as they've taken a lot of time to make these megas, and to me it seems kind of silly that they're taking them out of the game when they could just make them like exclusively for other Megabots. But, you know, they say the server limitations and whatnot, so I'm not going to get into that too much as far as reasoning and my thoughts behind it, but it's a reality. And so the Megabots are coming out, which caps your CPU at 7,555, so they're taking that out and replacing it basically with this new level 150, 1750 CPU cap for all robots. And I can't see how it would make current deathmatch games more fun having all the robots the same CPU, but they could have taken those Megabots and given them their own deathmatch and battle arena leagues, which I think would have been a better solution. Anyway, so that's kind of the most controversial thing in the new changes here coming up. But let's take a look here at some of the other stuff. There's also been some balance changes. They're changing a lot of the mega parts to not be as expensive, and in a lot of cases be a lot better, with the exception of being mega legs, where it got a little bit of a nerf. But mega wheels are going to be reduced in CPU by 100, and their health is being increased by 117%, so that's going to double up what they have, or actually a little bit more than double it up. And they're also increasing the actual speed by 35%, even though the stats that they show might show slower, it's actually going to be a quicker wheel. And I always noticed they were a little underperforming, so I'm happy to see that change. They're also increasing mega hovers to be 100%, 100 CPU less in cost, and then 215% more in health. So that's going to really help with them being super beefy. And they're also increasing the max speed of hovers by 21% for the mega hovers. So that would be something nice, as I think that's going to be a lot more viable build component now than it used to be for a regular robot. And then I did mention earlier about the mech legs getting a little reduction in overall effectiveness. Now their cost is coming down. So instead of the cost being like 400 some CPU, it's now only 205. So putting them on a vehicle will be easier to do for sure, and you can make a more substantial mech using the mega mech legs. Sort of like my golems, you'll be able to make a lot more substantial golem now. So the downside is that the shield has been decreased to by 25%. So instead of 200,000 plus shield, it's now going to be like 150,000 shield, which is still pretty good. I mean, it's still probably going to be the best electroplated piece, or best electroplate in the game. However, the health was increased by 25%, but the thing is, the pool of health was only 45,000, I think. So an overall nerf to Mega Legs. And the cost on Electro Shields also has been reduced to 130. So that's great too. So using Mega Shields for like a healer or something like that, or assistance bot of some sort, could be a little bit more viable too. So overall, I think that's really interesting for all the Mega components. They're definitely going to be more usable now in regular robots, and I know that's going to be their only function. One interesting thing I noticed is they didn't talk anything about Mega Weapons changes. And I know that had kind of been slated, or had been alluded to, at least in Mark's earlier comments on Twitter, is that, you know, or the post he made to the community, that there would probably be some changes in weapon types. You know, making the smaller weapons shoot faster, and the bigger weapons shoot a little slower, but have more of a damaging effect. So it looks like they might have backed off that idea, and they're just going with the parts changes for movement types, and they're all beneficial too. So I think they're probably going to take it in strides, and they're just doing this one major change with Megabots being taken out now, and increasing everybody's CPU cap in level 150, so the community doesn't absolutely revolt and just be super pissed off that, you know, Mega guns and stuff are being nerfed so bad. So I do kind of still expect something like that in the future as far as the Mega weapons, but or maybe they backed off that idea just because of the amount of feedback they're getting from the community that said all the changes and stuff were a little overpowered, or a little overwhelming, I should say, in this particular update. So let's talk about a couple other changes they did. They also changed the lock-on missile launcher ranking to 20,000 from where it was before, which is lower. And that's going to be a good thing, as, you know, having those lower tiering bots that was just a couple blocks competing in low levels, I think was going to kind of be a detraction for new players. And then same with the Proto-Seeker bot. And I actually had fun making little tiny Proto-Seeker robots earlier in the game, but I don't think it's probably good for the game's health, as I do really well with a little Proto-Seeker with some thrusters and hovers on it, and I put one under the Grambler account actually, but so does everybody else. So there's like a million little Proto-Seeker robots out there. So you won't see as much of that, or you will, but the thing is they're going to be now ranked in with flak and with the other anti-air weapons like missile launchers. Will be a lot easier to see those together. So it's going to make those little tiny drones a little bit harder to actually play with, which is a good thing, I think, overall. One thing I liked a lot too is that the rail accuracy is being increased. So if you're a flyer or a helicopter or something and you're moving or on the ground with wheels, it'll be a little easier to hit your target now with rails. So that's going to be interesting, especially since rails have been changed so much with the dynamics of them taking longer to shoot between shots with a lower quantity. So usually if I'm playing a rail now, I try to have at least 6 on my vehicle, 5 or 6, as I found that having like 3 and 4 is a little bit too slow for my liking, especially with a mixed weapon set. So I usually try to keep snipers, primarily snipers, with maybe 1 or 2 extra little weapons to help out in case I need to take someone out, like using the Proto-Seekers and stuff to take down remaining scrap that might be just a cube or 2 of a Tesla or an airplane. So that's worked pretty good overall. And let's see, there's also been some improvements to things, like the nanos, for example. The right and left click now do the same rate of fire, so that's nice. So you won't have to, you know, shoot or press the left click to get the faster and then the right click together anymore. It will work just as fast either way you go. They've also increased the collision as far as accuracy with the new power module, which is used to be the Mega module. And then they've also removed the center robot and test robot buttons from the edit robot interface, as it worked against good user's experience design, it sounds like. So move those around. It's a little harder to kind of use that when those buttons are right on the screen. And then says they've also made sure that the warning shots for the lock-on missile launchers are working correctly, as there were some bugs in there before. And they also optimized the code to improve the FPS and explosions and stuff like that with lock-on missile launchers. So overall, some pretty good improvements, along with the removal of Megabots. So I think it's going to be pretty well received. You know, at first I think everybody who takes the hit for the Megabots, especially the guys who really do the large art builds, are not going to be too happy. But for the long-term health of the game, I think having the general increase in both levels and CPU is going to be a good thing, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what I can come up with the extra 200-ish CPU. So I'm looking forward to it. I have a couple robots I'll show you here too that are going to be able to take advantage of the extra CPU. One of them that I made is this alien Invader, and I used some of the masks and stuff off the giveaway through Alienware. So to put this together, and then use the neon green, gray, and black kind of combination. The reason why I like this robot for the upcoming patch is that it has a lot of weapon diversity. So you have the missile launcher on the back, you got the double plasmas, which are the mega plasmas, which I find are probably my favorite weapon as far as damage type. Does have 3 SMGs and a nano on it, as you see. But the interior of the shell on this is hollow right now because so much CPU is being used for the weapon. So I consider this a light mech, as it doesn't really have the beef to really take a lot of damage and come out on the other side. There's a little bit of prison plating and damage channeling through the center just to kind of keep it intact. But with the extra 200 CPU, if you fill this spot in solid, it will definitely be a super beefy, great robot. So, and I'll probably add some hovers onto the back of it outside of that. So it doesn't really need any weapon improvements. I feel like it's right where it needs to be. Just needs a little bit more armor. The other one too that I've been having a lot of fun with is this new Eriptus. You remember the Eriptus from a long time ago was like a solidly electroplated square pretty much. But I went with something that's a little bit more dynamic now, and uses both 6 legs, 5 wings that are kind of tucked away, and then a combination of 6 of the railguns, and also the proto-seekers to finish off the enemies. And I put 6 thrusters on it, and made sure it was balanced well and everything. So it flies really well. It gets up to about 224 miles an hour. I did design this for the 1515 CPU, so this is kind of set up exactly for people who are playing at a level 103 right now. If you're watching this video, most likely after Monday's changes, it will be level 103. It's a great robot. It's something I really enjoy, and I'll probably end up putting this on the shop if you're looking to play a fun sniper in the mid-levels. That still feels a little bit weird to say that level 100 or 103 is going to be the mid-levels, but that's going to be the reality here come next week. Another robot that I've made recently that I've been having a lot of fun with is the P5 Talos. The Talos is another mech-style robot, but instead of using mega legs, I went ahead and used regular legs and then put on some heavier damaging weapons. So I really like Mega Plasma right now, and then I use hovers too to let the whole walker hover down from a distance and be able to rain down more plasma shots on people. Of course, I use the same styling as my golems with using the top anti-air flak, which I like a lot. It works really good as far as protection for a walker and then also taking down flyers. And then of course I used 2 frontside nanos to kind of score in that whole department and assist my team, as I'm not a frontline walker. I'm usually right behind the front line and healing them up, and then when we need a little extra boost or burst through the enemy lines, I'll jump up and rain them in plasma, and that does a good job at taking people out. I've had some perfect games with this robot, so it's a really good robot, and it's probably one that I'll use to level up a little bit more to level 150, and also increase to P5 on the Wraulin account. I've already got P5 on GamerGuide, as you guys all know, but this would actually be really interesting to try this out with the Mega Legs. So probably how I'll improve this robot is I'll end up changing out the base platform to 2 Mega Legs, but then incorporating the hovers and the Mega Plasmas, flak and nanos, and then maybe some SMGs, we'll see. But I definitely want to upgrade the legs to Mega Legs, and if that happens, this will probably be the best mech that I have in my arsenal, as it does a lot of damage. And then for my last robot I'll show off is the Galactic Buckler, which is real similar to the Stopper Chopper, which has been real popular on the CRF. But it uses more beefy weapons instead of having the Proto-Seeker armor and plasmas on the bottom, regular plasmas. I went with using the rocket launcher as kind of a way to armor up, and mega plasmas on the side for the most damage. It doesn't do as good as far as standoffs go, so I mean taking damage is not as powerful, and it only has 3 blades on the back too, instead of 4 blades, which I actually do like having the extra blade on the back a little bit more than having the firepower of the missiles. But it does work pretty good if you see the enemy first and you're able to fire your missiles or your Mega Plasma at them. You do well, but against flak and against other missile launcher bots and stuff on the ground, or Proto-Seekers, I feel like it's a little bit weaker than the Stopper Chopper, but still fun to play and something that I can score on, but I think it needs a little bit of rework and improvement. With the extra 200 CPU, you could definitely make something with an extra rotor or 2 and a little bit more shielding, and maybe some secondary SMGs on it too. And with that, it would definitely be improved a lot. So that might be something I'll look at improving in the future. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, guys. That's just been a little bit of talk about the new changes in Robocraft. which is going to be called the CPU update, coming out on Monday the 4th. If you guys are new here, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel, and thank you very much for watching this video. Please thumbs the video up and let me know that you guys are liking this kind of content, and let me know down below, if you would, what you think about the new patch. Are you guys looking forward to it, or are you in the camp of the Megabots being ejected from the game? Is it definitely a bad thing that you're going to be missing that more than the benefits of the patch, kind of increasing everything across the board and making movement parts especially, more usable in people's builds? So anyway, guys, definitely look for me on Tuesday and Wednesday, as I should be playing Robocraft on those 2 days, and probably doing some videos and stuff too for my channel with the changes. I will actually be working on Monday, so I won't be playing on the first day this is released. But definitely we'll be looking forward to some of the big changes. And also, last little mention here too, if you have the Mega modules, hang on to those, don't sell those back, as they are going to be worth 2,500 CPU come Monday. And so, in fact, if you wanted to get some GC, basically, for RP, make sure that you have some of those Mega modules in your inventory. They sell for 1 million RP, which is not very much in the way of RP. And if you can get 1 million RP for 2,500 GC without having to spend money, that's not a bad idea. You might, if you have millions and millions of RP, you might go ahead and invest in some of those modules and get the benefit of the GC for your account, as you can buy flags, you could buy some of the Carbon 6 guns and stuff like that, or premium time by having GC. So anyway, guys, that's it. I am out, and I will see you guys next week sometime in Robocraft. Thanks for watching. Hasta la vista.